That's the sound of brand new Malarkey are coming at you. This is your host, Matt, live. And with me, my co-host, Mr. John. How's it going, sir?
I'm better now.
John had a little bit of a crisis before we started, but it's all good now. It's a lovely, lovely Sunday night, night of the supermoon. We have that going on tonight. So everybody who's hearing this, I know you're not gonna. By the time you hear this, it's gonna be over. But there's a supermoon out there.
If you're listening to it, go look out your window right now and up in the sky, and generally somewhere in that area, that's where the moon was about a day or two ago.
It was super. But yeah, tonight's the night of the supermoon. It's supposed to be the biggest moon of the year. So John doesn't think it's very super.
I'm still convinced the moon is made of cheese.
But if you look out there, you can maybe tell you can maybe make out the American flag that's planted up there. So
Matt's full of shit.
But we have that.
Don't check out the flag we planted on the sun. Someone tricked me into that one time. I still never recovered.
Well, so we have that. What else do we have on this lovely Sunday evening? Well, what did we have? Oh, we were just watching this earlier. We had the PGA Championship end, and we had Rory McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy.
Rory
McIlroy, yeah.
Winning the PGA Championship. It is his fourth major in 3 years. He becomes the fourth youngest player in PGA history to reach 4 major wins. And it was pretty exciting. It came down to the last hole, and he won it by 1 stroke, beating out Phil Mickelson. What was it? I think he ended up scoring. What was it?
He won by a stroke.
Yeah, 16. He was 16 strokes under par.
Was the final?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. He was 16. He was 16 strokes under par, and
we don't need facts. It's the Malarkey hour.
Exactly. So that was pretty exciting. It was actually a pretty cool ending to the PGA Championship, and that's the last major of the year. So
Mickelson was 1 stroke behind?
Yeah. He I believe he birdied that last 18th hole. So
did he? Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So
yeah, at least it was close this time. But
yeah,
McIlroy's tearing it up.
Yeah,
it's pretty ridiculous. Kind of suggesting performance-enhancing drugs.
What?
I don't know. But he did. We've talked about this. As soon as he broke up with his girlfriend, he started playing well.
Yeah.
Like the old Rory.
I don't think he's gonna have much trouble finding a new girlfriend after this. Because you know what they say. The saying goes, "Chicks dig PGA championships," right? Isn't that what the saying?
Yeah, that's an old saying.
Yeah. I remember my grandpa told me that saying. Mm-hmm. He sat me down on his knees, like, "Son."
But it wasn't always like that though, because I used to walk into bars with this ugly green jacket, and nobody would even comment on it.
Nobody cared about it.
Hey, ladies like my green jacket.
And what would happen, John?
Nothing. They usually walk away. Saying something under her breath.
Well, too bad.
Yeah, but it was no green jacket today. I don't even know. You don't get a jacket unless it's the Masters.
Yeah,
right?
It's just the Masters. I think it's just a trophy. I don't even know what it looks like.
It's just a trophy and a couple $1 million.
Yeah. Who needs that?
Right. I'll just want the trophy.
Right. But so
enough about golf. McIlroy's the best golfer in the world right now.
He is.
And that's the end of the story.
He is.
Let's move on.
And other news, this news sickens me. I don't understand. The Spurs again are in the news. It seems like they love being in the news.
They're so boring.
It's sick. But did you hear, John, that the Spurs hired the first full-time female assistant coach, Becky Hammon?
Is she supposed to get the coffee or something?
That's very sexist, John. And I personally would like to apologize to our female listeners out there. For John's sexist piggest.
Our female listener.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Karen, for John's insensitive.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, but it's pretty cool.
They can get their own coffee.
No, it's pretty cool. Yeah, Becky Hammon becomes the first full-time female assistant coach. She just retired from the WNBA. She retired. The last team she played for was the San Antonio Stars.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean,
it's laughing because we couldn't think of the team.
No. Yeah, she after 16 years in the WNBA, she's gonna be part of Pop's coaching crew. So that's pretty cool.
I can't wait to watch my first WNBA game. You think she's allowed in the locker rooms?
Yeah. Why wouldn't she?
I don't know. It's going to be kind of weird.
Why? Because they're naked? Well, you know what? That's the thing. Aren't players mostly naked anyway when they have female reporters in there?
Reporters come in?
Yeah, female reporters go in and they're naked. So I don't think there's much of a difference.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of weird to get used to, though. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Greg Popovich, this is what he had to say. I very much look forward to the addition of Becky Hammon to our staff. Having observed her working with our team this past season, I'm confident her basketball IQ, work ethic, and interpersonal skills would be a great benefit to the Spurs. So apparently she had sort of like an internship last season where she was rehabbing from a knee injury, so she didn't go overseas to play, and she asked if she could sit in on the Spurs practices, and she basically became like an intern, and she would sit behind the bench during games, and so the Spurs know her, so it wasn't like out of the blue hire.
Right.
So.
They don't do stuff for publicity usually.
No.
So
yeah,
maybe. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So,
if anything, I mean, it's not gonna hurt.
No, and I think she's in the best position to be in. I mean, to be coaching under Coach Pop, probably the best coaching right now in the NBA or in any sport really. I think, in my totally unbiased opinion.
It's Pop and the great Bill Belichick.
Yeah, basically, right? I would say those are the two of the best coaches.
Pretty much.
All sports.
Every year, they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like you never count either one of those teams out.
No. So
I'm waiting for Patriots versus Spurs.
Oh man, imagine how that would go.
Two great coaching minds battling it out.
Well, that was one basketball news of the week. Let's move on to I would say probably the biggest NBA news of the week. There is reports that Kevin Love is going to go to Cleveland. It's pretty much a done deal. It's just they have to wait until
for vacation.
Yes, he loves he wants to go visit the what's in Cleveland again? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No, to Kevin Love. Apparently, rumors are that he is going to be traded from the Minnesota Timberwolves to the Cleveland Cavaliers. It hasn't been they can't really officially sign the deal because they have to wait until until later on in August, and that is because apparently the Cavaliers are going to send Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett, and a future first rounder to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Kevin Love. And Andrew Wiggins can't be traded for 30 days. So I think he signed with the Cavaliers in late July, and they have to wait a full 30 days until they can trade him.
Did you notice, and somebody brought this up in LeBron's letter, he never mentions Wiggins.
Or Anthony Bennett. Yeah, that's what everybody's been saying. The rumors were that if this deal was already in place before he even... Yeah.
Or they figured, I don't know if they thought for sure this year, but they were going to get him one way this year or next year.
Yeah,
or
so
this season, next
that's
season.
what rumors have been circulating, that's what that was already in place before LeBron even announced it. So I don't know.
But it's not final yet.
It's not final, and you know what? I was reading according to ESPN.com's Mark Stein and Brian Windhorst. They said if the parties involved had already agreed that Love would opt out and sign a new deal with the Cavs upon becoming a free agent, that apparently that's illegal to do in the NBA, and the league could veto the trade. So it really isn't a done deal. So it just the teams haven't really said officially that that's what it is. But if the NBA suspects and they are able to prove that that's what happened, they could veto the trade. So it's not a totally done deal.
So as Mr. Harvey Keitel would say,
well, let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite yet.
Yeah. So it's not a done deal. So
I can't believe they put him on the board or the front office of the Cavs.
So yeah. So let's not it's not a done deal. But but let's talk a little bit. Like, say it does go through. Do you think that just automatically makes the Cavs title contenders?
I say they have a free ticket through the East with a little struggle against the Bulls.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't matter if they get home court or not. Uh-huh. They will come out of the East as long as they're healthy.
We will see.
Who's going to beat them?
I don't know. I mean, it's...
Who? The Wizards?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, we will see. They'll definitely be a powerhouse offense. That's for sure. But I think, in my opinion, I think their defense is going to suffer because, Kevin Love isn't known as a great defensive player.
I'm already trying to get my Spurs, Cavs finals tickets.
Really?
Yeah. Ticketmaster keeps hanging up on me.
Well, we will see. And apparently that's going to be the first game. That's the rumor. That's going to be Spurs Cavs, the first opening night game, for the NBA.
That'd be cool.
But it's going to be Spurs at Cleveland. We'll see. So moving on, more NBA news. The next two stories are just a little sad. John, did you hear Phoenix Sun forward PJ Tucker was sentenced to 3 days in jail and 11 days of home detention Monday after pleading guilty to, quote, super extreme driving under the influence.
Super extreme
DUI.
What state is that?
This is, I guess, Arizona, I want to say.
Arizona. I can't talk bad about it. We'll lose our Arizona audience.
According to police, they say...
You guys need to pay attention to who you're voting for in Arizona. Because I can go on a rant, but I won't.
Police say that Tucker had
Tucson is lovely.
Police say that Tucker had a blood alcohol level of 0.22 when he was arrested on May 10th in Scottsdale.
That's like
Arizona.
3 times the legal limit.
Yeah, 3 times. Oh, almost 3 times the legal limit. Yeah, because isn't nationwide? It's all points. It's 0.08, right? Everywhere. I don't think any state has it lower than.
I thought it was per state.
Yeah, but I think every state is 0.08.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they have to do it by per state, but I don't think there's any state that has it below.
There's some states, if I'm not mistaken, where I think I've told you, where as long as the driver's sober, everybody in the car can be drinking.
It depends. Yes, it depends on the state.
I think there's a couple of states that still do that. It's okay.
Yeah, but I think now every state has a 0.08.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I know that the whatever drinking laws aren't all the same, but it might be 0.08.
Yeah. No, I remember when I read that, I'm like, super extreme DUI. I never heard that, but I guess there is. Tucker said in a statement, "I am truly sorry, and I take full responsibility for my actions. No excuses. It is now my responsibility to examine my life and make the changes necessary to ensure this never happens again."
As a sports fan, I have a serious question.
Go ahead.
What's his name again?
PJ Tucker.
That was the serious question. Who is PJ Tucker?
He's a Phoenix Sun forward. So.
And I'm a basketball fan too.
Well, and the next story, it's sort of related to this. Another NBA player, Marreese Speights, who plays for the Warriors.
Wait, I have another important question. Who was Marreese Speights?
Well, he is the Golden State Warriors center/forward. He was arrested early Tuesday morning of this past week in St. Petersburg, Florida, on a charge of driving under the influence, hours after he turned 27 years old on his birthday.
I feel bad for these kids if they weren't making millions of dollars playing a children's game.
And they could probably hire a driver, and they don't.
Yeah, or they could get a cab.
You know what? You know why I mentioned this story. You know what made me like the detail in this story is like it's his birthday. Why is he driving on his birthday?
I don't even drive on my birthday.
Like,
and
he
sometimes I'm broke.
He doesn't have any friends who would say, "Hey, Marreese, it's your birthday. We got this. You don't have to worry about driving."
At least we got you a cab.
Yeah. It's like, where's his friends? He's arrested hours after he turned 27. Like,
we'll drive you home. It's your birthday, or get a cab. Jesus.
Yeah.
You're a millionaire.
He just signed a 3-year deal for $10 million with Golden State in 2013. I think he could afford a cab. He could afford that $50.
Where's this?
Cab ride.
Phoenix?
And this was in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay. Oh my.
So those were the two DUI stories of the week.
Didn't Tony Stewart kill a guy this weekend?
He did.
With his bare hands?
No. You want to talk about it?
Briefly.
We could talk about it. Okay, let's do a quick jump to.
We don't
NASCAR.
follow NASCAR. I know you don't follow NASCAR. A lot of people do. This is what I gathered. It was I don't even know what the race was called. It was yesterday, right? Saturday?
I believe so. Yeah, usually it's on Saturdays, right? The NASCAR.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I think Tony Stewart ran the kid off the road. What was he, 20, 21, 22? I think it was 20.
I read the story really quickly.
I just saw it on CNN for like 2 seconds. And so the guy gets ran off the track in some kind of stock car, whatever the hell they were driving. They were driving weird cars, not like traditional NASCARs, right?
Yeah. What it was, apparently he was competing in a local dirt track event in, I have it right here, Canandaigua Motorsports Park in upstate New York. He was driving a high-powered open-wheel sprint car. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they're not like NASCARs or something else. But anyway, I think Tony Stewart rams him off the road against the wall, so the kid's out of the race. And you're supposed to, I don't know what the procedure is, but you don't walk back into the middle of the track.
Yeah, what happened, apparently what happened is...
he was fine. He span out of control. He hit the wall.
He hit the wall, and he got out of the car. The guy's name was Kevin Ward Jr. He was 20 years old, and apparently, he jumped out of the race car, and he looked to confront Stewart on the track.
Yeah.
While Stewart was in his car.
Stewart's going 5 million miles an hour, he plans to stand in front of Stewart and taunt him.
Yeah.
While he's going around the track, and Stewart was supposed to race to something else today, or I guess the same thing today or something else today.
And he didn't.
And he didn't. Well, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
If I was his PR guy, I'd say, no, you're not racing today.
Yeah.
But actually, they won't even show the video on TV. I haven't even seen it. They pause it before he gets hit.
Yeah. So apparently, a Ward stood on the track and he pointed at Stewart and
kind of like what the F kind of.
Yeah.
What, you know.
Yeah, and Stewart's race car fishtailed, I guess, and then it says here that the right tire hit Ward and dragged him under the car. So
it looked like Stewart didn't even swerve. What do you mean fishtailed?
That's what it says here. Apparently that his car fishtailed. So
after he hit him, I'm not trying to be funny. Before he hit him.
Yeah.
So did it look like he at least tried to get it?
I don't know. I haven't seen the video. This is just from this report.
There is some maybe conscious, subconscious, whatever's going through your head, adrenaline. You're already angry at the kid, and he's taunting you. You think you ran him over? It's not funny. It's really not that funny, but you know.
I hope not.
But I express my uncomfortableness by laughing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that it didn't look like he swerved at all.
I don't know.
Like point blank to me.
Yeah. So
in fact, they're doing an investigation, but
we'll see. We'll wait until that happens, and then we'll report back to you.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
But moving on, let's move on to other news.
You don't think that was a good news?
No, it was good news. We don't know too much about it.
Don't waste my motherfucking time.
Yeah, man, you can calm down.
I don't want you to waste our our listeners' time, John. Sorry.
All right. What do you got?
Moving on, John, did you hear about the Jerry Jones controversy this week?
I hear he's running a terrible team.
Apparently, did you see these pictures that popped up? Jerry Jones. I mean, had you seen these?
No. Right now.
I just put it up on the big screen, and I'm sure y'all. I'm going to put it up right now on this screen.
What do you think his pickup line is? Hey, baby, I got a terrible football team.
These two photos surfaced of Jerry Jones and very not very professional looking photos. One, he is holding a young lady's bosoms.
Younger girls than I've been with lately.
And in another, he has another woman. She appears to be on her knees, and he has her face, her left cheek pressed up against his crotch.
Yeah, his crotch region.
And he looks, I don't want to speculate, but he looks a little
intoxicated. He looks hammered.
Yeah. So, these pictures surfaced, and Jerry Jones actually commented earlier, I think today. I have the story right here. Yes, it was today.
Is he married?
He is married. He's been married for like 40 years, I think. Apparently, he says, this is Jerry Jones. He said, someone has misrepresented photos taken at a restaurant 5 years ago for their own purposes, and so I'm just not going to comment.
I don't know. So, I remember what Jerry looked like 5 years ago. He looked much younger.
So apparently, this was the story behind these photos. Deadspin.com reported last week that Dallas resident Frank Hoover claims he received the pictures from people who wanted to blackmail Jones. Hoover also released emails to Jones's attorney, Levi McCathern, asking to meet with Jones.
So Jones released a statement?
Yeah, he just said he's not going to comment. He just says that they're being misrepresented. I don't know how you're going to misrepresent that.
He just needs to come forward and say what happened.
But he says he has no more comment. So it's interesting.
I don't like when they hide behind their little whatever PR guys or. I want the super sexy side of the story.
Yes.
Anyway. Well, I haven't seen those till right now.
Well, there you go.
What's going on?
Let's jump from one controversial figure to another. John, did you see the documentary this week on HBO about our former U.S. President Richard Nixon?
Not really, no. But I know it. I saw a little bit of it. I had it on, like I had it playing, but I wasn't really watching it.
Well, for everybody who didn't hear about it, there is an HBO documentary that premiered on Monday on HBO. So, and if you have HBO or HBO on demand, it will be on HBO on demand. It was called Nixon by Nixon in his own words. Incidentally, it's been released on the 40th anniversary, which is coming up. Actually, it was Saturday, of Richard Nixon's resignation. Basically, what it does is if for people who haven't seen the documentary, it plays. For people who didn't know, Nixon recorded hours and hours of private conversations in the Oval Office.
Because he was a psychopath.
Yeah. Between February 71 and July of 73, Richard Nixon secretly recorded 3,700 hours of his phone calls and meetings across the executive offices.
LBJ had him beat, right?
The LBJ had more?
I think so.
I don't remember. How
LBJ
much.
Remember we were talking about how he used to have somebody by his bed when he would go to sleep rereading the transcripts.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Of his phone calls for the day.
Yeah. So.
Hey, do you want to listen to a 1-minute clip that wasn't on there?
Of Richard Nixon?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's him talking about that Archie Bunker and All in the Family.
Oh, okay, you could play. Yeah. So while John, do you have it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube here. Hold on, it'll play.
I saw Joe Bob the other day. I was trying to do the damn baseball game, and then CBS, the game went off, and CBS came on with the movie. They had two magnificent, handsome guys and a stupid old fellow in it. They were glorifying homosexuality.
Got a panel show?
No, it's a movie.
No, that's a regular show. It's on every week. And usually it's just set in the guy's home. And it's usually just that guy who's a hard.
He's freaking out about All in the Family because it glorifies homosexuality in his work. He has this hippie son-in-law.
Usually, the general trend of it is
because he was trying to catch the big game, and instead he accidentally watched All in the Family. Archie is the guy's name.
So that's real family entertainment, isn't it?
The point that I make is that, goddamn, I do not think that you glorify on public television homosexuality.
I do not think that you glorify on television homosexuality.
Homosexuality destroyed it.
Homosexuality destroyed the Greeks, apparently.
He never had the
Yeah.
influence of television.
The last 6 Roman emperors were fags.
Wow, the last 6 Roman emperors were fags. That's a quote from Nixon.
These are the enemies of strong societies. That's why the communists and the left-wingers are pushing each other. They're trying to destroy us.
He was not a fan of All in the Family.
And yeah, if you even listen even to a portion of these Nixon tapes, yeah, it's pretty much the same. He was a sexist, racist, egotistical man. Yeah, I mean, he was raised. His mother, I think, wasn't his mother a Quaker?
I don't know.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Apparently, in their household, they grew up no television, no swearing. Very religious. But yeah, he recorded, like I said, 3,700 hours of just recordings with everybody that talked to him, and mostly in the Oval Office. And this, what this documentary did is it's interesting. It's sort of the way I would describe it is sort of an intro to a lot of these tapes. It takes snippets of a lot of these hours, and it sort of puts it into context. So that way you sort of know where, because if you start listening to him, sometimes it could be a little hard to understand what he's talking about because it's not in context. So what this documentary does, it puts it more in context. You know what he's talking about, who he's talking about. It's an interesting little documentary. But
I saw some of it.
But if you want to get more in depth into these tapes, go to nixontapes.org, and they have all 3,700 hours there. The last year,
if you have 3,700 hours to spare, I highly recommend it.
Last year, the last.
How many days is that?
I don't know. I guess you do the math. The last part, the sort of, they've been releasing them since after his death. He died in '94, and that's when they started releasing all these tapes. Nixon actually fought to have these tapes not released, but they started releasing them shortly after he died in '94, and the last batch of them got released last year. So I think that's the reason that they did this documentary, because now they had the full 3,700 hours of it. But if you go to this is the best website I found that has.
If you have 154.1666667 days.
Is that how much it is?
Yeah, 24-hour days. 154 of them.
Uh-huh.
Give or take. Yeah, I highly recommend the website.
He talks about everything. Like, he talks about Watergate on those tapes. He talks about he definitely knew about Watergate. He talks about
Duh.
Man, you know what's interesting about the tapes? How vindictive he was. If you pissed him off, he's gonna go after you. Like, he hated the media. He didn't make it.
Didn't he tell me he was auditing people for because they pissed him off?
Yeah, just to piss him off. Yeah. If you pissed him off during that time, he would go after you. So he was not a man to be messed with.
Which still goes on today, guys.
No, that's a 70s thing, John. That doesn't happen.
No. That IRS scandal that suddenly went away.
Um,
It didn't really go away. If you watch Fox News, it's still going.
To any government officials who's listening to this, that's solely the opinion of John, and not me. So
Please don't audit me.
So it's an interesting documentary. I recommend it for anybody who's interested in Nixon.
I think all presidents are psychopaths on some level. Not all of them, but
Well, you know, they've said that it takes a certain type of person to want to run for president.
It's the most stressful, crazy job in the world.
Yeah. So,
What do you think is number 2?
what do you mean?
Outside of politics, outside of being the president of the United States?
Oh, like stressful?
Yeah, like a real job that people have. Like, that, you know what I mean? Like civilians have. Not military either.
Not military.
I'm going to go with,
Probably something like something dangerous, like policeman, or
I don't know.
it depends on, I guess, what city you're in.
There's a couple of people from high school I know that became cops, and they seem pretty chill. Actually, I'm gonna go with air traffic controller.
You think that's stressful?
Yeah, I think that has to be very stressful.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure the planes don't crash into each other and kill everyone.
Maybe undercover. If you're somebody undercover.
Like
That's pretty stressful.
Like Donnie Brasco.
Yeah. Because you think about it, you get discovered, you get killed.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be Donnie Brasco.
Yeah. Probably something in the government like CIA spy or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's stressful too.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think more about it. Maybe I'll think of something else before we're done.
I know it's hard to think of a stressful job, but you know what? I can't think an easy job, and you know who has a really easy job, John?
Who?
The cast of The Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
Did you hear about their pay raise?
Yes, I did.
Apparently, this week, the Big Bang Theory actors all got new contracts. Well, most of them did. The 3 stars of the show, Jim Parsons, who plays Sheldon, Johnny Galecki, who plays Leonard, and Kaylee Kuko, who plays Penny, they all bargained for a new 3-year contract that will pay each of them at least $90 million over the next few years. They will eventually get $1 million salary an episode and an increased return from syndication rights to the series. So each of them are going to be making around $90 million over the next few years.
Poor bastards.
The other 2, Simon Helberg, who plays Howard, and Kuna Knight, I can't say his name, who plays Raj, they held out too, and they reached another deal too. They will be making about $70 million over 3 years.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. So
I like Kaylee Kuko.
And the other 2, I can never say her name. Mayim Bialik, who plays Amy Farrah Fowler.
She the smart one.
Yeah, and Melissa Roth, who plays
the one
Bernadette.
that has like a real PhD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both they're not making as much. They only make about $60,000 an episode.
Was it Melissa Rauch or Rauch?
And and it's gonna rise to $100,000 over the course of their contract. So they'll start making a little bit more money. So
I think they're all gonna be okay.
Yeah. So we will see how that goes.
Now I feel bad for that guy from the Suns.
They're not making crap compared to these guys.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think, what did they say? It beat the Friends budget.
Yeah. So
Friends
apparently
payroll.
So if you compare it to other big paydays, Seinfeld and Friends in their final seasons were making $1 million an episode. So the whole cast of Seinfeld and the whole cast of Friends, they were making basically. Or was it just Jerry on Seinfeld? Or was it all 4 of them? I can't remember. I know all 6 of Friends were making, all 6 cast members on Friends were making $1 million. But I don't know if on Seinfeld if it was just Jerry or it was all 4 of them.
Tell you, there's no official amount, but apparently Seinfeld himself turned down between $5 and $7 million an episode to do one more season.
Yeah.
Just, that's his money.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen, he made $1.25 million per episode his last season on 2.5 Men.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
next topic.
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
So we have that. So I don't think they have too tough of a job.
I think
Even if they did, I think they're well compensated for any stress that they.
You want me to work on a Saturday?
They don't work weekends.
I know, that's what's more messed up.
Yeah, in Hollywood you don't work weekends.
Part of the contract.
In fact, they had to pay you more if you work weekends. So
that's why I don't envy Mayweather at all. You just gotta work Saturday nights. It's the worst night.
One Saturday every 6 to 8 months.
Like, who wants to work on a Saturday night? Come on.
Well, let's move on because that's making me a little depressed. And other Hollywood news.
Man, me and the other employees are thinking about unionizing.
Trying to get more pay here.
Yeah, I think we're definitely underpaid.
Well, I'll pay you as much as I get paid. So how about that?
Really?
Yeah.
We'll talk about this afterwards.
I'll pay you as much as I'm getting paid for this show. So how about that?
All right, we'll talk about
it. In other Hollywood news, John, did you hear?
Yes.
Craig Ferguson is going to leave the Late Late Show on CBS, and he's going to be replaced by James Corden.
Okay, I have to think for a second. Who is James Corden?
He's a British guy.
That makes sense. Replace a Scottish guy
With a British guy. He's a British comedian, apparently, and
Actually, Craig Ferguson's getting another show, I think.
is he?
Yeah. I don't know what channel it's on, but it's some kind of, I don't know if like variety show or game show or something weird.
Apparently, this James Corden.
He was born on my birthday,
was
August
he?
22nd.
Oh, there you go, James Corden, and it's coming up too. James Corden.
I support him.
James Corden has 4.3 million Twitter followers. So, there you go. So he already has a following. And in 2012, he received a Tony for his starring role in One Man, Two Governors. Spelled Governors.
Governor?
Very British. Yeah, Governors.
I
Apparently,
know, Governor.
Craig Ferguson's gonna be. He's gonna host the show for the next 4 months. So, there's still time.
Didn't he get a big bonus for not getting the
Yeah, he did.
the Letterman show?
Yeah. There's a
I think
bonus.
You told me that.
Yeah, there's a bonus. I guess right into his contract that if he didn't get it, he's gonna get a bonus. So
He gets $1 billion.
$1 billion. So
Was it like $5 million, right?
something ridiculous. So yeah, there's that. I mean, it's sad. I like Craig
I like
Ferguson.
get that big bonus for not getting the job. It's like them paying you for like firing you.
Essentially, that's what it is. Yeah.
We don't want you anymore. Here. But I like Craig Ferguson. I think he's
I like him too.
actually I think he is the most underrated late night host on television.
Do you think so?
Yes. I've thought that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
He's funny. I think he's a great interviewer.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's just
Yeah.
I really think it's all about the whole whatever you want to call it, time slot demographic thing. I really think it's because he's Scottish.
What do you mean? Oh, wait. I don't understand.
I think you can't replace Letterman with a Scottish guy.
You think so?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be. I don't even know if that's not racism. Is it? I guess it. Yeah, whatever. Well, no, but I really think that's what they're thinking in their head is that they're going to lose Letterman's audience. It's an older crowd. It's a more traditional. It's not a wide generation demographic. It's an older audience.
Well, look who they're replacing him with. They're replacing him with Stephen Colbert.
But I think he's gonna balance everything out. I think he's gonna get some young viewers and old viewers, and it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
But I think it does have something to do with him being Scottish. I'm not trying to be funny.
I just think Stephen Colbert is a bigger star.
I don't know. You'd be surprised.
He's a bigger star. He gets higher ratings. I think that's what it was. It's more than that. I think
it plays a factor though.
I don't think the Scottish thing.
I just
really
don't think you want to admit it.
Jay Leno was Scottish.
He didn't talk like it.
His mom was Scottish.
He talked like he was from another planet. Talking like a Barbie doll. Talking like a drunk girl at a bar. You want to do shots?
So.
Jaeger. Would you ladies like to go to Denny's after this? Worst Leno impressions ever.
I don't think that was the determining factor, him being Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway,
the Nile is not just a river in Egypt.
Well, let's move on. Let's.
I would have loved him. I'm just saying. I think it had something to do with it.
He'll be fine though.
I'm not worried about his financial state.
I didn't say no. I'm just saying. I think no. I'm not even talking about financial. I think he'll find something that will be able to showcase his.
He's gonna go back to the booze.
Yeah, he's never coming back. Nah, I don't think he is.
He was a bad alcoholic.
Well, you saw him or what?
No, he told actually.
He told story.
Actually, if you go on YouTube, whoever's listening here, right? Both of you.
Yeah.
No, seriously, go on YouTube and look up or go to Google, type in "serious Craig Ferguson monologue," and he does about 3 or 4 of them over the years.
Oh, really?
He does one on alcoholism. He did one on Britney Spears when she was going through her problems. And,
Yeah, I saw that one.
he did one on his mom when she died.
He wouldn't make fun of Britney Spears' drinking.
He thought it was mean because he had done. Yeah, And it's actually
I recovered from it.
Here, I'll tell the story really quick.
Right.
And like, I don't want to play the clip; it's too long. But he talks about his alcohol problem, and he goes into it, and he says that it was I think it was Christmas Day in Scotland or wherever he was living at the time.
Right.
And he said he had decided to kill himself that day. He said he woke up. He said he was covered in piss. He goes, I hope it was mine. You know, like
Right.
same thing. He woke up in like the basement of a bar. I guess he was really cool with the bar owner or something, right? So he goes up, and he said he was going to catch some train to some bridge, and he was going to jump off of it. He realized, oh crap, it's Christmas Day, and the trains aren't running. And,
Okay.
And he said the bartender's like, before you go, he's like, have a glass of sherry, and he poured him a jack glass of sherry, and he started to feel good again. So he kept drinking and drinking. He goes, so I got so drunk I passed out again, and I forgot to kill myself.
Nice.
And he's just saying like the next day he woke up a little more clear-headed and felt a little better, and he hadn't had a drink since that night.
Yeah.
Or since that next morning after that.
Yeah. Well,
it's a dark story.
yeah. Well, what was that saying that I think they say in AA? It's that moment of clarity that I guess a lot of drunks have.
Yeah, it's you haven't suffered enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you get that moment where like, oh, maybe I almost killed myself. Maybe I shouldn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's something bad has to happen before you can move.
Well, I don't even think it's necessarily something bad has to happen because
something life altering.
I think it has to wake you up. I think I don't know. I guess everybody's different, but it has to come from you. I guess.
Yeah, I guess everybody is different. You could try to tell
because we know I know plenty of people they've had.
I wish I could reach out to that guy who nobody knows from the Phoenix Suns right now.
PJ Tucker.
Yeah,
You
PJ
could
Tucker. If you're listening, and I know you are. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Take it one day at a time.
There you go.
And someday, us NBA fans, we're going to know who you are.
That's his follow-on, right? Nobody knows who he is.
That's why he drinks. Nobody knows who I am. All right, you've had enough, PJ.
Moving on.
It's my birthday.
Moving on from that story. Let's move on to other Hollywood news.
Why are you driving? Keep going. What else do we have here? Let's move from less depressing topics.
Let's do I went to this story about do you know who Steven Soderbergh is, right?
Director, yes.
Yes. For people who don't know, he is a Hollywood director. Very good Hollywood director. He is most known for
he does porn, right?
Yes. Yeah. For people who don't know,
I thought he did Sasha Grey movies.
He did one movie with Sasha Grey that was in it, but it wasn't a porn.
No, I'm just kidding.
But he is, for probably the movies that people know him more most likely from is the Ocean's movies. He did all three Ocean's 11, which is 12, and Ocean's 13. But
you think we should get one more?
But he started his career 25 years ago, coming up in August 18th, which was the release of his first full feature-length film, which was Sex Tapes and
I told you he made porn.
Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Jesus.
No, it wasn't a porn. Have you seen it?
No.
It stars James Spader.
Don't ever judge a movie by its title.
It stars James Spader.
That old phrase.
It stars James Spader, Andy McDowell, Peter Gallagher, and Laura San Giacomo. And it was a revolutionary movie. I really loved it. But yeah, it was 25 years ago today, and it coincides with he has a new series coming out on Cinemax called The Nick, starring Clive Owen. Have you heard about this?
Actually, I've seen the trailer, but I didn't know it was him.
For people who might have not seen it or haven't heard of The Nick, it is a medical period drama set in, I think, the early 1900s. And it's about this surgeon played by Clive Owen, who is stop me if you heard this before, a drug addict who is they're essentially they're
When you say stop you, do you mean if I've heard this premise of the show?
No.
Or do you mean if I've heard of such thing as a drug addict?
No, you know what I mean. Like it obviously, we've heard this before. Most recently, House. It was another
Okay.
brilliant surgeon. Well, it wasn't a surgeon, but he was a brilliant doctor who was, I think too.
Can we take real quick one break for some advice from Mr. Schwarzenegger,
Go ahead.
if we have?
You should not drink and bake.
So yes.
We got to make that clear. Pick one or the other, kids.
The Knicks stars Clive Owen. Like I said, he plays Dr. John W. Thackeray, a surgeon. He was working in New York City's Knickerbocker Hospital, and it is set in 1900. And it's basically about them sort of dealing with what was coming up with like modern medicine, trying around the turn of the century. That's when you had a lot of breakthroughs in surgery and in medicine. So it looks interesting. The first episode aired Friday night on Cinemax.
Started?
Yeah, it started already. So for all of you who haven't seen it, I recorded. I haven't had a chance to see that first episode. But from what I hear, it's great. It's 10 episodes long. Steven Soderbergh directed every episode of the season, and from what I read, I think it's gonna come back again. They already got a second season approved, and Steven Soderbergh's gonna come back and direct all those episodes as well. For people who don't know, he announced his retirement from directing film last year. So now he's doing television. So that should be interesting.
Really? He's done with movies?
That's what he said. His last movie that came out in theaters was Side Effects in 2013. He had
Jessica Alba?
He had Behind the Candelabra, the HBO TV movie, come out last year. So yeah, he hasn't. He said that was gonna be his last movie that came out in theaters.
That was the Jessica Alba one, right?
Side Effects wasn't. Side Effects.
Oh, I'm thinking of that other one. Yeah.
Now, Side Effects starred Jude Law, Rooney Mara, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Channing Tatum. Which, sort of jumping the gun, but the reason I mentioned it is we are starting a new feature, a new segment here on the Malarkey Hour, and
I'm scared.
essentially it's gonna be sort of a pick of the week. Me and John are gonna pick, either a movie or a book or a television or something that we feel hasn't gotten his due.
I recommend 100,000 hours of Richard Nixon tapes.
That's John's pick of the week. No, so essentially the segment what's going to be, it's going to be something that we feel it's great, but it hasn't gotten its recognition. And my pick this week, and just because we're talking about it, is Side Effects, a 2013 movie directed by Steven Soderbergh.
I remember it, but I don't remember it.
Well, I'm going to talk about it. It's for people who didn't see it. It came out last year, and it was a small film. It made decent money. It made $63 million, but it wasn't as popular as I think it should have been. A great film. Like I said, it starred Rooney Mara, Channing Tatum, Jude Law, Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's about essentially. I don't want to give too much away because
It's an odd cast.
it is. So I don't want to give too much away because there's some surprises,
some side effects,
some twists and turns, but it's about this drug, this new antidepressant, and that's all I'm gonna say. And it deals with
the drama.
It's a drama. You know what? You know how I would describe it? It's like a Alfred Hitchcock a mystery, and it's really good. I do not, like I said, I don't want to explain too much because it would ruin the plot, but it's very good. And I recommend it. This is my pick of the week. If you like suspense films, you like mystery films, this is the film for you, and you will not be disappointed. So you say you haven't seen it, right?
No, I haven't. I remember the previews though.
So I recommend you go out and see it, John. Either on Netflix or I think it should be on Netflix.
I'll find it.
Yeah. Or
one way or another, I'll find it.
So I don't know if you have a pick, John.
Yeah, and it's a movie that I've already told you about, and it's funny because you mentioned this actor earlier, and you said you don't know, you can't really tell if he's a good actor.
What?
You already know what I'm going to say. I recommend a movie that is coming out soon. I was trying to find the release date, but I don't have it. But I recommend Locke.
Lock.
Locke.
Lock.
With Tom Hardy. And
you saw this already?
Yeah. Only Tom Hardy. I think I've told you a little bit about it. It takes place, which is, I would assume, is real time.
Wait. So it's coming out, or it's already came out?
No, it was already in theaters. It's coming out on
DVD.
Blu-ray DVD.
Oh, okay.
It's a British movie. It actually originally got released. It says 2013. I guess we got it later in America or something.
Okay. Oh, so it's was it a British movie?
Yeah. He's driving, and the whole time he's driving on the right side of the vehicle with the wheel in a Beamer.
Nice.
But yeah, apparently, I'll give you a little synopsis or whatever. The whole movie, he's driving to a destination. He's married. He has kids. He's like this big, engineer, contractor. Mm-hmm. And all this chaos is going on in his life. I won't ruin it, where he's going, what's going on. And he's just talking on the phone, like, not on the phone, but you know, the cars where you can just talk like speakerphone.
Yeah, so
and those are the only other actors in the movie the whole time.
The voices
coming
from the phones.
And it's about 5 or 6 people that he calls the whole time over and over that are going back and forth. And his life is literally falling apart as he's driving.
Really?
In an hour and a half drive, his life is just completely falling apart.
Interesting.
And that's what turned me on Tom Hardy. I was like, wow, he's doing this whole movie by himself.
So yeah.
And it never drags. It actually gets more. You actually feel it more. It gets more suspenseful. It's good.
Oh, okay.
That's why I thought it was really interesting because it feels like it's real time. It's him by himself.
Right.
No other actors.
All right.
And it never loses. It actually gets a little bit more suspenseful, and it never gets out of. It never feels fake.
Right.
It feels like something that could really happen to a real person.
All right.
And you're literally watching this man's life just go into chaos. On a single drive, hour and a half drive. I highly recommend it.
Well, there you go.
I actually think it's one of Tom Hardy's best things that I've ever seen.
It's funny. I'm looking
except for Bane.
Looking at this cast, yeah, it's funny. It says Tom Hardy as Ivan Locke, and then everybody else voice. It's like as this and with voice.
You never see another person.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. You got 2 recommendations from me and John. And, my recommendation is Side Effects, directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring Jude Law, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Rooney Mara, and Channing Tatum. For all you Magic Mike fans out there. And John's recommendation is Locke. That's spelled Locke. And the E is because it's British. And the British love to spell words incorrectly.
Just because the wheel's on the right side doesn't mean it's unrealistic.
Cocky bastards. This movie is directed by Stephen Knight. And that's Knight with a K because, like I said, again, it's British and they like to misspell shit.
Actually, I think they might have spelled it right. Maybe we're misspelling it.
And it's starring Tom Hardy. Like you heard, it's said all in his car as he's driving. So neither me or John has seen the films that we're recommending to each other. So we have.
Now I gotta watch a movie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna watch Locke while John watches Side Effects. Maybe we should watch those at the same time. I'll watch Locke while you watch Side Effects.
What's going on? I don't know. I'm watching Side Effects. Oh, weird.
Yeah. So there you go. This is going to be a regular segment from now on. We're going to try to, like I said, it could be a film, it could be a book, it could be a TV series, it could be a product. You know, like, hey, you know, like maybe something that we like.
Wow.
Something that we feel isn't getting as much publicity as it should, that we like. So yeah, look out for next week. We're gonna have something else from me and John. So it's exciting times. Like I said, there's a lot of changes coming to the Malarkey Hour, and that's one of them. So
I like it.
But one segment that we have coming up that's regular, and it's the segment everybody waits for, and we always do it at towards the end of the show, and that is the game that's taking over the nation. It's John. I keep hearing about it. It's gaining traction. It's out there. You know, all the kids are talking about it. When I go to work and the water cooler talk, it's about this game, and it's the weekend box office results. And John tries to guess what's the top 5 movies of this weekend? And I put it up on the big screen. John's not looking.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
John's
can't
not
look.
looking.
Wait, first you're going to name 5, and I put them in order.
Yeah, so for any new listeners out there, let's explain the rules. Essentially, I'm going to... Well, what I first do is I announce any new movies that came out this weekend, and then I announce the top 5 in alphabetical order, and John has to not only guess which one in order from 1 to 5, but he has to also guess how much he thinks it made for this weekend.
So you're going to put them in alphabetical order first?
Alphabetical order first, the top 5.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay.
Why?
Because I remember when Nicolas Cage came on the show, and he got really frustrated with the game.
Why?
Could somebody misfile something? What could be easier? It's all alphabetical. You just put it in the right file according to alphabetical order. You know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
He was so angry.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure, Mr.
That's
Cage.
why I don't play with him anymore.
No, Mr. Cage. No, we're gonna make sure it's in alphabetical order.
I just got confused for a second, and he went off on me.
Yeah. So we're gonna make sure. I give him the top 5 in alphabetical order, and he has to put them in order from highest grossing to least grossing, the 5th, and he has to guess how much they made this weekend. So let me give you the new releases. So we had 4 new movies come out this weekend, John. The first one was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the remake of the popular toy series and cartoon series, and they had early 90s.
The popular Ninja Turtle collector set.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, starring Megan Fox. And then we have Into the Storm, which is a film about a storm.
Okay.
The 100-Foot Journey, starring Helen Mirren, and Step Up, All In, the sequel to the Step Up films. Those were the 4 new releases for this weekend.
You're reading me the top 5.
No, these are the new releases. Just to give it out there. Now, okay, so now we have the top 5. I'm gonna give them to John in alphabetical order.
Why am I writing this?
Well, you know what? 3 of the 4 actually were in the top 5.
All right,
so
go ahead.
Okay, so the first one in alphabetical order is Guardians of the Galaxy. That's one of them. The second one is the 100-Foot Journey. The third one is Into the Storm. The fourth one is Lucy. And the 5th one is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You have to tell me a little bit here. 100-Foot Journey. Is that what's it rated, and is it animated? What is it?
It is a drama starring, I think it's Helen Mirren. Here, I'll pop it up right here.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what?
I don't know what the 100-Foot Journey is.
You don't know who Helen Mirren is?
Kind of.
Here, I'll put it here. I'll give you the synopsis. It's where is the thing? Okay, it's an American comedy drama film directed by Lasse Hallström, and it is starring Helen Mirren, and it is where is the thing?
Did this come out this weekend?
Yeah, so it's a new release. It is. I'm not getting a synopsis here. That's interesting.
All right, you don't have to. It's Helen Mirren.
It's about cooking.
Oh, okay.
It's okay, here it is.
When it came out this weekend.
When Hassan and his family, led by Papa, moved to a quaint village in the south of France with the grand plan of opening an Indian restaurant in the picturesque countryside, they are undeterred by the fact that only 100 feet opposite stands a Michelin-starred classical French eatery. So,
but it is top 5 for the weekend.
Yeah, it's top 5.
Okay.
So, again, to repeat, alphabetical order: Guardians of the Galaxy, the 100-Foot Journey, Into the Storm, Lucy, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, you just saw Lucy.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna start.
What do you think? What do you think won the weekend box office, John?
As a marketing person, I feel We'll have to go with the Turtles.
You think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles won the weekend, and you will be correct. On this opening weekend, it takes the number 1 spot. How much do you think it made this weekend?
What was it rated?
It is rated PG, I think. Or PG-13, I'm sorry.
Man, I personally know a lot of people that have seen it.
Really? So there you go.
But I knew more people that saw the Galaxy movie.
The
which I remember was like 90, the Galaxy on opening weekend.
Yeah,
right?
last weekend. Yeah, this is the second week. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
So that's why I'm thinking.
Turtles had just maybe this will help you. It had a budget of $125 million. That was his budget. I don't know if that helps you.
I don't think it did better than Galaxy. To
You
be
don't think?
honest with you.
Okay, all right. We need an answer, Joe.
$75 million.
Ooh, close. $65 million even. That was the gross. That was the box office gross for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What do you got for number 2?
It's got to be Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, ding ding ding, was the number 2, and its second weekend out, it takes the number 2 spot. How much do you think it made this weekend?
They seem to be dropping at like a 40% raise. What I'm noticing.
The last few weeks.
Yeah. Just from like the last couple of weeks we've done this.
Yeah.
We had 90 in the week 1, right?
Yeah.
I just cut it in half. 45.
Ooh, 41,531,000. There you go. What do we have on number 3? We have The 100-Foot Journey left, Into the Storm, and Lucy. This is the last. So the 3 movies left in the top 5.
Lucy's been out for too long.
Lucy's been out for 3 weeks. This is 3rd week out.
I'm gonna have to say.
We got Lucy and 2 movies that just came out
I
this
would have
weekend.
gone with Lucy if this was 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Into the Storm. This is opening weekend.
Yeah, Into the Storm and The 100-Foot Journey.
These are opening weekend.
Yes, sir.
It's one of these 2.
You think it's one of those 2?
And it's got to be the one that people have heard of. So I'm gonna put it Into the Storm.
Ding ding ding! How much you think it made?
Shit, I don't know.
We have $65 million for Teenage. We got $41 million for Guardians. How much you think Into the Storm made? Its first weekend out on a $50 million budget.
30.
It made $18,015,000.
Way off.
And just for your point, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy dropped 56%. So yeah, movies have been dropping by a good percentage. So we got number 4. You got 2 movies left: 100-Foot Journey and Lucy.
God.
We got 100-Foot Journey opening this weekend. We got Lucy in its 3rd week out. You got a 50-50 shot here.
I have a feeling they're close.
You think so?
I have a feeling they're kind of close. Just because I don't think most people know what 100-Foot Journey is.
You'd be surprised.
Well, the weirdos you hang out with.
Well, no, I think it's perfect counter programming. You got people who aren't into Turtles or Guardians or
What is
Storms.
100-Foot Journey rated?
That is rated. I think it's rated PG. Yeah, it's PG. Perfect. There's a lot of grandmas out there that aren't into Storms or Guardians or Ninja Turtles.
Lucy's R, right?
Lucy is, very R. We saw it. It's very R.
That's the rule right there. It's 100-Foot Journey's next.
Ding, ding, ding. You're correct, sir. It took number 4
weekend,
spot. Opening weekend.
PG rating. It's gotta be Lucy.
It took the number 4 spot.
But how much?
We have 65 for Teenage. We got 41 for Guardians. We got 18 million for Into the Storm. How much you think 100-Foot Journey made?
11.
11,123,000.
I do not cheat, guys. I do not cheat.
No, he does not cheat. So we got Lucy on number 5. How much do you think Lucy? It's on its 3rd week out.
That theater was it wasn't that empty.
But it was a small theater, though, too.
Yeah, but it wasn't that empty.
Yeah. So, it was a number 5 movie.
We met a nice couple in front of us.
Yeah.
Just do 7.
It made
7.
9,331,000. So
right.
that was the top 5. Just to finish out the top 10, we had Step Up All In this opening weekend, making $6,575,000. Hercules on his third week out made $5,700,000. It's made $63 million so far. It doesn't look good for it to make back its budget. Get On Up.
Which one will make back?
Hercules. Number 8 was Get On Up. The James Brown biopic made $5,012,000 on his second week out. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes takes the number 9 spot with $4,400,000. That is reaching the 200 million mark and should probably hit it next week if it continues this trend. And then finish up the top 10 was Planes Fire and Rescue with $2,419,000. Its total gross so far has been $52 million. So those were your top 10 movies this weekend at the box office. Well, there you go.
I didn't do that bad.
Well, it was good.
I was pretty off on. I don't even know. I scratched them out. I was really off on Into the Storm. I guess 30. It was 18.
There you go.
There's no stars in it.
There's no. What do you mean?
There's no like stars in Into the Storm, like
No.
celebrities. You know.
Well, they say the storm's a star, John. So
A storm is coming.
storm is coming, and with that, what else is coming up? It's coming up at the end of the show. But before we end this week's show, as always, I encourage everybody to like. If you like this episode of the Malarkey Hour, hit that like button. Do not be afraid; it doesn't cost you anything to hit that like button.
Click, click, click.
And also, I encourage you to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. It should be popping up on your screen right now. Subscribe. That way you know whenever we release a new video, a new podcast, you'll be the first to know
Also,
with that subscribe button.
For the second week, I want to make sure that Mr. Schwarzenegger gets his advice out there to the young kids.
Which is what, John?
You should not drink and bake.
Yes, very important that
Choose one.
drink
Or bake.
or bake, not both.
No, definitely not both.
Yes.
You should not drink and bake.
Do you think he means both, or do you think you shouldn't bake after you've drank?
Jesus, we're going to have to call him next week.
I don't know. You might have to call him.
I don't know. He's kind of a hard ass sometimes.
Yeah. But so yeah, so we leave you with that. Next week.
All right, everyone, chill.
Okay, yeah. So with that, yeah. So I hope
They
everybody.
shouldn't have given me this button.
I hope everybody chills for the rest of this night and for the rest of the week. And we will see you next weekend. We will have a special episode of the Malarkey Hour next weekend.
Jesus, you got to tell me about these things.
And then the one after that coming up is going to be the special.
We'll be live from Miami.
We'll be live from Miami, celebrating John's birthday in 2 weeks. I want to put that out now. We're going to be live from Miami.
You're going to make me do this on my birthday?
Live. No, it won't be on your birthday.
Okay.
It'll be 2 days after your birthday. But we'll be live from Miami. We'll be celebrating.
I forgot to tell you, I'm taking 3 weeks off for my birthday. We'll talk about it off the air.
So get ready. Yeah, I hope everybody is ready for that special. It's going to be a very special episode of Malarkey Hour, John's birthday edition. So I hope everybody's sending out those gifts if you want them to get here on time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So with that, we bid you adieu, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.